Kenyan runners, they are born running machines. Kenya has produced many legendary long-distance runners in the past centuries. They probably have genetic advantages, high red blood cell volume from training at altitude, and they all train like professionals out there. But what other factor might contribute to their success?
I've been training with the Kenyans for several months now, and I can assure you that there's definitely no 80% easy and 20% hard rule. So, as most of you guys know, I'm training here in the beautiful Iten, Kenya, and most of the runs where I join the Kenyans, it gets progressive, and I end up running quite far deep in my zone 2 heart rate. There are many examples. And these are all just regular morning runs they perform besides their tough sessions. In this video, I will dive deeper into the typical Kenyan style of running, why I think there's quite some benefit in zone 2 heart rate training or some tempo training into your weekly schedule, and why you shouldn't maybe emphasize the 80% easy and 20% hard rule too much in your own training schedule. Let's dive in.
I wrote a semi-scientific article earlier this year for a Dutch magazine where I explain the benefits of training in the gray zone and explain that Norwegian and Kenyan long distance runners train quite a bit in their tempo zones. And I also give some practical tips about how to train in this zone. Fortunately, the article is in Dutch. You can download it on my media page on my website. See a link down below in the comments to my media page. I thought it was good to clarify the main points of this article in this video. And what actually do I mean with training in the gray zone or the zone 2 heart rate? Let's clearly define zone 2 heart rate or the gray zone here first. You can also call it the tempo training zone. Here in the image you can see a 3-zone heart rate model, where the zone 2 heart rate covers the entire range between your aerobic threshold, LT1, and your anaerobic threshold, LT2. For most runners, this is between 70 to 85% of your max heart rate. Of course, there's also the regular 5 heart rate zone model. If you would translate these zones in the 3-zone model, zone 2 would be more or less zone 3 in the 5 heart rate zone model. So to simplify the definition for zone 2 training, we mean everything above the aerobic and below the anaerobic threshold. So what are the main benefits of zone 2 training compared to a more polarized model where you train most in zone 1 easy and zone 3 hard? Well, zone 2 is a bit of a strange one. You both get the benefits of the burning fat more effectively, which you also train in zone 1, and the benefits of training a bit in your lactate glycolytic system of zone 3. So some coaches call it the sweet spot of training because you get the best of both worlds, where for other coaches call it the gray zone because you don't maximize your fat burning capacity in this training or only your glycolytic or lactate system. So yeah, there's not a clear preference among coaches, I would say. However, there are some clear benefits to training in the zone 2 heart rate or the gray zone. First of all, it targets your aerobic capacity more effectively than in your zone 1. So you build mitochondria more effectively. And second, it slowly increases your lactate threshold as well, since you are producing a little bit of lactate and you target your lactate system, or your glycolytic system as well. So it can help increase your lactate threshold and become more efficient at using carbs as fuel as well. And the last benefit, it also gives you better fatigue resistance or better endurance because your muscles and your aerobic system have to sustain a harder effort during those tempo runs, and therefore you will build more fatigue resistance. And also, it's great for marathon training because most of your marathon you will run in the high end of your zone 2, just below your second lactate threshold.
Back to the Kenyan way of training.
In a study between elite Spanish and Kenyan long distance runners, I found that Kenyan distance runners run over 25% of their volume in zone 2.
This matches my own findings on the Kenyan running style. Let's have a look at a regular weekly schedule of a Kenyan distance runner.
You see, there's quite some zone 2 training in their weekly schedule. For most aerobic runs in the morning, they end up pushing back or maintaining the same pace of 400 to 340 per kilometer uphill towards the town of Iten. Iten is the highest point around here. Besides this, the zone 2 is also found in the fartlek training with a mix of zone 3, so above your second leg day threshold in there, and last, the long run, which is progressive and most part below their second leg day threshold in zone 2. However, it's not an easy run at all. So how can you incorporate zone 2 training in your own training schedule? Of course, it's all about balance. If you start to do too much zone 2 training or tempo runs instead of easy runs, then you might get overtrained, of course. But how I would suggest you take it up into your training schedule is just make one easy run more of a steady or tempo run, or make one easy run for the second half a bit more progressive towards the end. So then you still have some zone 2 training into your weekly schedule. Or you could add some marathon paces into your long run at the end of the week. And it's also again about balance. So don't put it in every long run you do, but maybe bi-weekly put some marathon efforts into your long run as well.
Well, I hope this video gave you some insight in why I don't mind doing some of my training in the zone 2 or the gray zone. Um, and please let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments about tempo training or training in your zone 2 heart rate. And as always, if you still go out there today, have fun and get on the run.